Today is Monday night. It's about 8:51 p.m. Central Time or Charleston, Missouri time. February the 1st, 2016. February is a month that most people, especially black or African Americans, whatever we want to be called, call this Black History Month. If that's what you want to call it, so be it. But it's some history for me to tell here in Charleston, Missouri. This marks the 4th year, 4 years ago, on February the 1st, 2012, my then 5-year-old daughter, who this year would be 10, she was going to the Charleston, Missouri R1 school district here in Charleston, Missouri. She was in kindergarten. My other daughter, that was 6, she was going to the Charleston, Missouri R1 school district. She was in 1st grade. The Head Start in kindergarten got out at 2:40 p.m. The 1st through the 5th grade got out at 3 o'clock. I signed a contract with this black man who they have at the Charleston R1 school district as the director of transportation, Irvin Johnson. I signed the contract with him for the 2011 and 2012 school year that my 5-year-old daughter would not ride home on the bus with the kindergartens and the Head Starters, that when she got out of school at 2:40, she is to be taken to the school office in the elementary school until 3 o'clock, until my daughter that was in 1st grade got out of school and they rode home on the bus together. This was happening for a while until a white bus driver came from some part in Arkansas, Joey Rice. He started working at the Charleston R1 school district as a high school agriculture teacher and as a elementary school bus driver for the Hearns Elementary School where my 2 daughters went. But let me tell you what happened. I signed that contract with Irvin Johnson and with the principal of the Hearns Elementary School here in Charleston, Missouri, Tammy Brooks. At least that was her name then. I don't know if it's changed or not. She's white. And the contract was saying that when she got out of school at 2:40, she's to go to the office, not to no bus. But on February the 1st, she came home and told me about this Joy Rice, the school bus driver, who frightened her. She told me that when she went to the bus, they sent her to the bus by herself, number one. Why is you going to send a 5-year-old child to a school bus by herself? Number one. Knowing the bus that she's going on won't be anybody on it because the school that she just got out of, all of them go home on a whole different bus, on bus 15. Bus 15 gone. She's going to bus 7 where the 1st and through the 5th graders go to. She get to the bus by herself, nobody on it. She's frightened. No escort. She goes back on her way back to the school. The school bus driver pops up behind her, startled her, frightened her. He asked her, can he pick her up by her backpack? She's 5 years old, weighing 60 pounds. And it really don't make a difference how many pounds she weighed. She shook her head no to him because she was afraid. She normally say, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. But when she's afraid of somebody or don't know them, all they'll do is just shake their head because they withdrawing from him. He picked her up anyway by the little loop that you would normally hang your backpack up in the school. He picked her up by that. It broke. One part stayed on. One part came loose. He took her on the school bus, sat in the front seat, got a knife off the school bus out of the compartment. Knife shouldn't have been on there. They claim because he was an agriculture teacher, that's why he had it. It don't make no difference if he was a hunter. If he was teaching hunting in the school, the shotgun or the gun should have kept in the hunting room, and all he should have did was had the keys to this bus. But he got it behind her, cut the little scrap off and put it in his pocket. He thought she was just gonna forget about it. Maybe because she's a little black, mixed with Puerto Rican and Dominican little girl. He figuring that, oh, she's ignorant, like they think all blacks is down here. Most of the people do, not all. But I complained about this. Tried to go to the school board, they wouldn't do nothing. The police school resource officer, Brenda Badford, who works for the Charleston, Missouri Police Department, questioned my daughter without my permission, without my presence, and without my knowledge, trying to force her to say this bus driver didn't do nothing to her. She wasn't afraid. He was just trying to help on the bus. What I told y'all just happened then, it didn't even happen on the bus at first. He took her to the bus. Couldn't have been trying to help her on there. Frank Ellis, the black assistant principal, did the same thing. Him and this white school resource officer got together on the second interview with my daughter without my presence or permission to try to force her to say that she wasn't afraid or he didn't harm her. She came home and told me that they tried to force her to say this here. She didn't say what they said. Brenda Baffert didn't question the bus driver. She didn't even write a police report. They did nothing about it. I contacted the Obama administration December 16th of 2012, and his office sent my complaint to the United States Department of Education Civil Rights Division in Washington, D.C. They contacted me January of 2013 and told me that Obama administration sent my complaint to them. They're going to have a team to look at it and see where they go from there. The team looked at it, seen something wrong. They told me they were sending it to Kansas City, Missouri, who had the authority over the state of Missouri to investigate or not to investigate. They called me, told me that my case had went over 180 days statute of limitations, and if I wanted to ask it to be waived, that I had to contact their director. I contacted their director, and I showed him just cause, and he waived it. And they sent investigators down here that didn't even talk to my daughters or me when they got down here. They talked to all the people that I complained about. And they did nothing to this bus driver. This happened February the 1st of 2012, 4 years ago. School got out May the 16th or 17th of 2012. He worked it not only to then, he worked it to June until summer school was over with, and then he left on his own because I was putting YouTube videos and newspaper articles on him. But let me show you something else. The same school, October or November of 2015, just last year, a black bus driver was fired for giving a note to one of the young children, one of the young girls on the school bus. They keeping it hush-hush. But it got back to me. They won't put it in the newspaper and things. That show you how they work down here. They fired him. To fire him, Brenda Badford had to interview him. Why would she interview him and not interview the white bus driver? What he did to my child was child endangerment. What the school did was negligence. I want y'all to pay close attention to these people. I'm not through. This is just day one of what you call black history. I'm showing you black history, black racist history here in Charleston, Missouri. Brenda Vapper, the police resource officer, her brother David Harris works on the school. He's on the school board. He's also worked for the city of Charleston for 20 plus years as the water director for the water department. Brenda Baffert's son, Keith Bradford, a police officer for the Charleston, Missouri Police Department, shot and killed a 34-year-old mentally ill black man November the 8th, 2011. Got away with it. Nothing happened. He also shot another black man in East Prairie, Missouri a few years before that on another police department. They got rid of him and sent him here where his family got ties. What I'm trying to tell you, Look into the case and see why they ain't talking about that black bus driver that they just fired October or November 2015. I leave you as I came, but you see discrimination. That white bus driver should have been questioned. A police report should be down at the Charleston, Missouri Police Department, but it's not. This man wasn't fired. Now he could do the same thing again in our Walnut Ridge, Arkansas, and nothing happened. They let white people get away with murder down here, but they won't get away with it with my children. I'll keep on until the day I die. Peace, be still.